Hello friends. Imagine you met with your family members or your friends but not really, rather in virtual 3D world, one that is created artificially. You enter this world while you are sitting in your room using a special headset or glasses. Similarly, you are working or studying or shopping, you do almost all the things that you do in the real world, but not in real world, instead in artificially created world. Using this special headset or glasses right from your room. How does it sound? Doesn't it sound a little depressing? Friends, the metaverse promises something akin to this for the future. It is technology that would replace the internet in the future and will become the future of humanity. Will metaverse change the world of internet? I think we'll have to brace for this race for the metaverse. I think we will see more and more of coming AI in the gaming space. The word metaverse is made up of two words, meta plus verse. The word meta is derived from Greek. It is a prefix that basically means beyond, and the word comes from the word universe. This word is basically used to refer an artificial world that is beyond our universe. The internet can also be said to be a distinct universe, but you can go on the internet. It is mostly limited to two dimension only. Whether you are using a phone or your computer, they are two-dimensional screens. But when metaverse is talked about, metaverse would be a world where you can completely in it. In three dimension, like when you watch a cricket match on the television, it is in two dimension. But technically, if we use virtual reality, then you would get a 360 experience of watching the cricket match around you. It will try to create an experience that would make you feel as if you actually at that match. The word metaverse was first used in the year 1992 in the science fiction book Snow Crash, written by Neil Stephenson. In this novel, he talked about a dystopian world, a world where real life has been destroyed, the outdoor was unlivable for the humans anymore, so everyone lives confined to their buildings and rooms and spend their life in virtual reality. That virtual reality, the artificial world, was referred to as metaverse by him. First, let's see how the metaverse is created. Various technologies are used here to actually create the metaverse. The first is virtual reality. This technology already exists today, but to use this, you have to wear those heavy headsets. And if you have them for more than half an hour, they start causing headaches and motion sickness, as claimed by many users. On top of it, the things that you see in the virtual reality now, the level of technology that we have today, is quite poor. The quality of animation that you see in the virtual reality games, the videos that you see on there, although it is something that would definitely improve with time, it is also being hoped that these heavy headsets with the new tech smaller and slimmer. And eventually they would be size of normal glasses. Before whether this would be actually possible, time will tell. Second technology is AR, augmented reality. It would mean that some artificial elements mixed with our real world, it wouldn't be a complete virtual reality. The example of it is the Pokemon Go smartphone game. On it, you can use the smartphone to look at the real world around you. Look at it through the smartphone, you can see the artificial Pokemon in there. It seems like they are mixed in the real world around you. Another good example of it is the Google Glass that was released once upon a time. Remember? A product that was released and taken back without people finding about it. But Google Glass had a huge hype around 2013 and 14. Glasses with which you could add virtual element in the real world. When you look at the road in front of you, you can have a map at the corner of the glass. You could talk to someone through the camera while looking in the front of you, while walking. This feature was heavily criticized, but in fact this was mocked so much that eventually the Google Glass was a huge flop. Apart from this, having a 5G technology in the metaverse is also talked about. If we are to create a huge virtual world, we need to constantly upload and download a huge amount of data. For this, we need extremely high internet speed. We need 5G. Additionally, blockchains and cryptocurrencies are also mentioned. When talking about metaverse, when money would be spent to buy anything in the metaverse, they can't be real money, of course, because everything is digital. So there would be need of digital currencies. This is where cryptocurrencies come into play. And because there is a large number of transactions constantly, they need to be kept secure. There would be a threat of hackers or the threat of data breachers too. To keep this secure, blockchains might be used. The exact manner in which blockchain kept the data secure. Apart from it, if you want to buy land in the metaverse or some other property or any asset in the metaverse, how that would be accomplished? It is said it will be accomplished by through NFTs, non-fungible tokens. You can think of NFTs as tokens that exist on blockchain. You can prove the ownership of the digital asset. How would you prove that you have particular digital land in the metaverse? An NFT will prove it. Nowadays it is being used to buy or sell ownership of the memes. NFTs can be used to verify tickets to a concert also. If someone holds a virtual concert in the metaverse, it is something that singers have already done it. In September, singer Ariana Grande did this by virtually performing in Fortnite. Although these technologies exist individually on basic level, uh, out by combining them and creating a metaverse will take a lot of time. Several experts believe that it would take actually decades before something akin to metaverse could become so popular that majority of people would be using it. Many people believe that metaverse is inevitable. It is bound to happen someday. The next thing after internet would be metaverse. But a critical question arises here. Will this metaverse be successful? Is there any demand for it? Does anyone want it? And it's a very interesting question because if you look at technologies like Google Glass, there are a lot of efforts to putting it, making it popular around 2014. Many celebrities went wearing around it. It was handed out to influencers. My people made tech reviews of it, showing how cool they were. But eventually, the Google Glass was flop. There are many reasons for lack of responses. One of the reasons was that they had battery life of 3 hours only. They looked weird. There was the issue of privacy because they had camera. Many places had already banned them because people wearing them. Many countries went about banning them. But in my opinion, there was even more important reason behind the failure of Google Glass. They didn't have feature that people truly needed. It looked very cool, a futuristic piece of technology. People who owned one of these, they could show off the feature of the glass, but actual real life use was next to none. Anything you do on Google Glass, you could already do it in your smartphone, and you could do it better on the smartphone. Whether it's looking at maps, taking video calls, I think can be said to Metaverse too. It's very cool for the first time, seeing how you can sit in 3D virtual environment and communicate with others, having meetings. Realistically, why would you go through so much trouble? Everyone needs to put on glass, calls everyone else on 3D setup. It is easier to simply take out phone and get a normal video call. Do we really need to distance ourselves from the real life so much that we forget how to live real? That we spend all our lives in the fake artificial world. If this virtual world becomes so addictive and immersive, somewhere or other, people will stop worrying about the real world. It is truly dystopian. It will be very depressing. And that book that I talked about, Snow Crash, is actually a dystopian novel. It was something to draw inspiration from. It creates something that sort. It tried to show the metaverse in a negative light. If you ask for my opinion, I think some technologies from it would definitely popular in the future, but they will popular in their sectors. For example, the technology of AR, augmented reality. I think it's very effective use case in engineering, architecture, or even in the field of medicine, where you need to think in 3D. Using 3D models would make the work more efficient and overall better. I believe it has a great potential in many business areas and industries. I hope you found this video informative. Thank you very much.